Hello everyone, welcome to the Content Bite. So guys, let's talk about yet another topic that has popped up in the comment section regarding land and property. Disclaimer, I am not a property expert, or am I a realtor or anybody that is an expert in real estate of any kind, but I'm just going to express my opinions as a South African citizen who has also did buy property and also has bought land before, and also land that has been sold, that I have also sold, and things like that, and the processes that had to be followed. So in South Africa, property is regulated. Whether you are buying land or you are buying a house, building a house, or anything that has to do with property development, or an already a house that is already there, or property that is already there. Now, we are regulated, of course, under the housing department, and of course you will find public as well as private property agents and institutions and things like that, which also includes a bank. A lot of South Africans, when they buy their homes or property or land, they do through banks in most cases, and if it's not banks, it's going to be through property agents or agencies, and there are a lot of them in South Africa. Now, it's either when you buy land directly from a person, or if you're buying a property or a home, you do so directly with a person that is selling the house. But in most cases, these people will be using realtors, or they'll be using real estate agencies, and you will be dealing with such people. And inside of that, lawyers are going to be involved. They are called conveyancers in South Africa. They do like property transfer deeds, when you have to exchange the deed from the original owner to now the new owner, or you just a whole new owner with your own title deed to the land or to the home that you just purchased or built from the ground up. And South Africa is a unique country as well, because we do have homelands where chiefs are the people that are heads of these homelands. And if you want to purchase land there, you will actually have to go to a chief of that particular area to announce yourself, number one, who you are, and in most cases you have to be carrying a gift or another. These days you would carry maybe a bottle of whiskey and a case of beer, maybe a sheep. Most of the time it's going to be a sheep. Other people, they come with a cow, a whole cow, a bottle of whiskey, a bottle of brandy, and a case of beer. They announce who they are, what their intentions of being in that homeland, which often is a village, and then they will tell the chief, I saw a piece of land that I am interested in. I was wondering if that piece of land is available for me to buy. So there are all kinds of rules. One chief may have a different rule over the other chief in the next village or next homeland. It all differs, so it also depends where in South Africa you will be at. Now, if you come into the urban areas, we have suburbs, we have apartments, which we call flats, and also you will find like townhouses, etc., and so on. There you will deal with the realtor or a real estate agent or the bank itself. With the bank, basically you get a bond. I think you guys call it a what is it called? A mortgage. I think many parts of the world they call it a mortgage. In South Africa, we call it a bond, where there's going to be an agreement between you and the bank and the time frame you are going to be paying this bond over the years. In most cases, it is 20 years. In some cases, I've heard it goes as far as 30 to 50 years because of the interest that you have to pay in between. There's a whole lot that goes on, which is dealt with the realtor and the lawyers that you are going to be dealing with. In South Africa, there is no way that I can sell you a piece of land and then I will sell it to somebody else, the same piece of land, and also sell it to a third person, the same piece of land, and now there's going to be a conflict. That is a crime in South Africa. So I heard some people who bought land in other countries like Ghana, in most cases, where the owner of the land has sold the same land to more than one person, and now there is this whole conflict. Sometimes family members will also have the same claim to the same land with same papers, and they'll say, hey, I would have sold this land for example, let's say the first person sold it for like $100,000, and then there's a family member who also has similar papers to the same land, will say, oh, I would have sold you the land for $50,000, and then there'll be a third person who says, what, they sold it for $50,000, I would have sold it to you for $10,000. And it becomes an entire mess. We don't have that situation here in South Africa. If it exists, then those people are breaking the law. I have not heard of anything like this before. Now, there are also houses in the townships that are for sale in case you want to experience a township life. And I always say, if you ever come to South Africa, just come with an open heart and also try to spend at least a week or a night in the township. There are Airbnbs in our townships such as Soweto, such as KwaMashu, Mlazi, Langa, Khayelitsha, and everywhere else in South Africa. That way you get to experience the real lives of people that are living in South Africa. Most of the time, of course, I give this advice to Black Americans, Black British, Black Canadians, and Black Australians, those that I have come across at least, when they ask me where is the best place to spend the night so I can experience the real life of real South Africans. And I always say the township. If it's not the township, of course, I would say go to the rural. Our rural areas are not as rural as they used to be before. You still have running water, you still have electricity, and yes, it's just that the area is still pretty much rural, like agricultural in most cases, and very natural, and you can literally see the stars all out at night on a clear crystal blue sky at night, and you get to enjoy the environment there and all of that stuff. But when it comes to property, it is very regulated in South Africa. You will not find yourself scammed of a property, and if there is such, those people will be caught real soon and dealt with by the law. So you can be quite comfortable to purchase land or purchase property here in South Africa. Now, how much property is in South Africa? Well, South Africa still pretty much runs according to how it used to back in the day. Like if you are going to be in an affluent area, of course, the properties there are going to be high priced. For example, places like Sandton, the richest square mile on the African continent. That is where your wealthiest South Africans, which includes celebrities and people coming from the diaspora, they live there because of the dollar that they come with. And for them, a property that costs 5 million rand to me, which is a lot of money, is actually about what in dollars? Probably $300,000 or even less than $300,000. I have seen 3-bedroom houses that cost $95,000 right here in South Africa in a safe and affluent suburb of South Africa. That also goes for apartments that are 3-bedroom. For rental, they charge as little as $500 to about $800 a month. To when they are selling it, they might say it is $75,000, $55,000, and I understand elsewhere in the world that would actually cost around $1.1 million instead of what we are charging here in South Africa. Yes, property, for those of you that are coming with the dollar and the pound, property here is very, 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 very cheap for you because of the strength of the dollar or the strength of the euro or the strength of the pound. And of course, a lot of expats, a lot of digital nomads as well, discovering this, and they're like, wait, in as much as I'm here for a year or 2 years or 4 years, they end up buying property and looking at South Africa as their second home, a home away from home. And that is actually a thing that is happening in South Africa right now. So property for wealthy, I suppose, in my opinion, is pretty cheap here in South Africa. And you do not have to worry about you getting scammed if you see a property that you like and you would like to purchase it. Yes, there are a slew of documentation that you are going to have to sign, because there are all kinds of requirements, especially when it comes to your credit score. If you are a South African citizen, I'm not quite sure how they deal with experts and people from elsewhere. I guess that's the research that you're going to have to do. But the most popular website for property in South Africa, and I trust that website, is property24.com. Property24.com. That's where you get to see all these amazing houses from absolutely everywhere in South Africa that you may want to either rent out when you come here to South Africa for X number of months or years, or Airbnb, or purchase a home on its own as a second home in South Africa. Pieces of land as well are on sale. Some of the land, of course, are owned privately, and some of the land are owned by the government, who is trying to utilize the land to build infrastructure. Chances are you might not win the government because of its plans it has with some of these land, versus private property that you are going to get elsewhere in the land. Some chiefs, like I said, in some homesteads or villages, they do sell pieces of land where you can build a house from scratch, or you can start your own farming. And I do understand there are some farms also that are on sale. Once again, you can go to property24.com and check if such do exist if you want to get involved yourself in agriculture in South Africa. So I thought, let me answer this question, because I've seen about 4 people asking me about property in South Africa and worried about scams. Not here. Property in this country and land in this country, highly regulated, and you should be very, very comfortable dealing with a realtor. Again, property24.com. They will assist you greatly on that one. You don't have to worry about anything. You can do everything from wherever you are at, purchasing property here in South Africa, or when you come here to visit, you can actually do some viewing of properties in South Africa. And I will say the cheapest are in Durban. Yeah, the Miami of South Africa. You have the ocean view, and you also have very beautiful weather throughout the year. I always say in Durban, the season of summer, 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 summer. While the rest of the country in winter, everybody is wearing warmly, like how I am here in Johannesburg. It's quite cold because it's still winter. On the 1st of September is going to be spring day for us, and yeah, the vibe begins for us in South Africa. So yeah, I hope this answers your question. Please, whatever you do, help this channel out. I will leave my PayPal account in the pinned comments, because I'm trying to put together a studio, y'all. I'm trying to put a studio together so I can have better lighting and better sound and everything else. And I come and serve you with videos like this one when you leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any questions regarding South Africa, please put in the comment section and I will assist one way or the other, the way I know how. If anybody else know better than I do regarding property, please do contribute in the comment section. Don't come and say, yeah, research. This is not a research channel. This is me answering questions to my friends that come onto this channel. And if you are well versed in property, then please assist. That will be greatly appreciated. Other than that, guys, don't leave the video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.